When it comes to Apex Legends, I find its comeback to be interesting, but the main reason I'm making this video is to justify the amount of time I've put into the game recently. Now, instead of taking accountability for procrastination, I could say I was just doing research. When talking about Apex, it might surprise you to even state that the game was once dead, especially since recently it's been picking up so many Warzone refugees. Apex in late 2019 to early 2020 was considered to be a dead game in comparison to juggernauts like Fortnite and the now declining Warzone. PUBG never really had a chance, but I'll stick it up there for the 4 of you who can't seem to move on from the past. But this was after what was considered to be the biggest month ever for all battle royales, with exception to Warzone's opening weekend. But calm down, random traveler, or someone who's always been subscribed to the channel. You thought I was gonna plug in the middle of a transition sequence? I know I've gone low, but I have some decency. Respawn Entertainment is well known for games like Titanfall, Titanfall 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and some random Medal of Honor VR game, but since this is an Apex video, these two really don't matter.
What did you say? You son of a bitch!
I take it back, you'll matter in a little bit. Both Titanfall games were dead on arrival when they launched for Respawn underneath their publisher EA, with Titanfall 2 rising from the ashes being titled an underrated god of first-person movement shooters. And while working on Titanfall 3, battle royale games such as H1Z1, PUBG, and the world-dominating Fortnite started to pick up traction quickly. So Respawn started getting experimental in game design. Titanfall 2 was an amazing shooter, and everybody would have loved to seen a Titanfall 3, but the opportunity was so golden that Respawn would have been foolish to not even give an attempt at the battle royale market. So they did. I started playing Apex Legends the first day it came out because I was a fan of Respawn and saw the announcement from their social medias. But I had no clue the game was releasing, and neither did the rest of the world. It was a surprise launch, with most people discovering the game that same very day, with the population advertising it via word to mouth. This is impressive because most game companies spend millions of dollars in advertising, but Apex instead chose to put its money where its mouth is. And what was more surprising is that the game was free to play with loot boxes that only contain cosmetic items. And EA game going free to play without pay-to-win microtransactions. Maybe pigs can fly. And Twitch caused this game to spread like wildfire due to its incredible polish and quality on day of release, alongside its accessibility due to it being free to play on all platforms besides Nintendo Switch and mobile at launch. A lot of other battle royales had so much pride that they're willing to die in their hill of skeletons that they once called a player base rather than going free to play. But Respawn saw the success of Fortnite and wanted the game to have a long lifespan, so they bit the bullet and played the long game. Day 1 had 2.5 million players, which was a massive success, especially for Respawn, who was used to underwhelming sales and numbers. Apex was a grand slam, and it makes sense why. Look, I know a lot of the people who judge the game might be some trash ass loser who can't even get more than 5 kills. But luckily for you, I'm a motherfucking winner.
I'm reloading. Hey, I'm about to punch her.
Got him.
Now that you see I go beast mode, I'll continue the video since I have the right to. If you have any objections, hit me back when you can get more than 6 kills in a match. This might be the part where you expect me to shit on Fortnite and go on about how Apex is so much better, but that seems a bit unfair. Apex proved that the battle royale is indeed a genre that can be innovated and expanded on. Fortnite serves its purpose well. It's easy to pick up and it's very digestible, giving players third-person building fun, and even today people still play it casually. Fortnite understands that it's no longer the competitive juggernaut that people wanted it to be, and has gone toward the monetary route to please casual players with skill-based matchmaking and partnership deals that allow Pickle Rick, Travis Scott, Master Chief, and Kratos to fight in the same squad. What the hell did I just say? But Apex at the time added options for players who wanted to play Battle Royale that wasn't just third person. After Season 5, I couldn't stand Fortnite. The sweaty building, the gunplay that was mostly RNG based, and just overall was getting very stale and repetitive. But then the saving grace of Battle Royale came down and swooped me. Blackout. Call of Duty wanted the piece of the Battle Royale pie. So Activision and Treyarch announced that Black Ops 4 would have a first-person Battle Royale mode, and this hyped the shit out of me. There was no first-person exclusive Battle Royale at the time. PUBG had game modes that forced first-person, but it was awkward and janky due to the game being designed around third-person movement. So Blackout was gonna dominate the market, right? No. It was terrible. Black Ops 4 was a terrible game with outdated graphics and shit mechanics. Also, it was behind a $60 paywall, making the game dead on arrival. Look, I know we just took a detour, But this all leads back to Apex Legends. Since Blackout was a flop, Fortnite was boring, and good first-person movement-based battle royales weren't out yet, Apex Legends dominated the market and was a match made in heaven for those who wanted fast-paced first-person battle royale. The gunplay felt like Titanfall 2, the movement was smooth, and the action was intense. Looting was also simple, and the weapons had a ton of attachments, allowing players to have variety and options on how they wanted to customize their loadouts. At launch, Apex had 8 legends with unique abilities, ultimates, and passives that could be used to help the player and their team. And this fit very well for the game since it was forced trios. But at first, this was a hard learning curve for everyone. Battle royales usually had solos, duos, and quads, so eliminating those modes caused some alienation. If you're a loner, then it sucked to be you. Make some friends or have a bad time. And if you're a social butterfly with a lot of friends, that dude who used to be your 4th in those Fortnite matches can go to bed early. He's not going to be needed. As much as this sucks, the game couldn't work in solos or quads. That lone wolf stuff stays behind. Sorry. Solos would make most of the legends unnecessary, forcing players to use only 2 or 3 legends. And quads would be too much for players to handle due to 4 opponents having abilities and ultimates to use in a firefight. Trios now is a living hell when it comes to third parties. You want to throw a 4th guy into the mix too? The trio system worked perfectly. You have a balance of action and utility that went well with the game's mechanics and gunplay. Titanfall 2 was a 5v5, which is considered small when it comes to team deathmatch, but it always felt fast and fun due to the map balancing and mobility options, and Apex is the same way. Sliding, mantling, sprinting, and ziplines added game variety and fast-paced movement, while the abilities and gunplay added a lot of unique options for firefights. But Apex also evolved Battle Royale completely. Dying is annoying, and not being able to play with your friends is not fun.
What a fucking nick.
Camping is toxic, finishing down people is toxic, and dying in the first 3 minutes due to not having a gun to then not play the rest of the match is demotivating. One accident or mistake, now you can't play with your friends and you have to spectate. This was stupid and alienating for no reason, and Apex fixed this. Respawn cards and respawn beacons were the best and most obvious innovation to Battle Royale. Where the gulag is a cool gimmick, respawning is a must. And months later, Fortnite stole this idea because, believe it or not, people wanted to play a match after the first 3 minutes, and they were starting to leave the game to go play Apex. Also, another innovation was Apex's pinging system. This generation of gaming is mostly mute, not speaking nearly as much in voice chat in comparison to the early 2000s. And the ping system in Apex allowed randoms to communicate with one another. Let's go here, enemy here, loot here. Even for pre-made matches, it makes communication more convenient, showing what gun is here, what ammo I need, and where to run and where to shoot. And of course, future games took this innovation, including Fortnite. But after Apex's strong launch, it started to struggle. The game lost 70% of its player base and profits just 2 months after launch. And after such a strong opening month, many were surprised at how quick the game was falling off. And the reason for it falling off was sadly justified. Battle royales in general are extremely repetitive and they get old pretty quick. At the time, Fortnite was in its 8th season, but Fortnite mastered something that Apex didn't, and that was variety and incentive to play. Fortnite was constantly introducing new weapons while swapping out old ones, which introduced new metas and ways to play, making each update a new experience. They were also constantly changing or affecting the map that everyone played on, which is ironic because now today people are begging for the old map. On March 19th, 2019, Apex dropped its first season with a battle pass and a new legend named Octane, who in my opinion is still the best legend of the game to this day, and is my personal main. But at the time, it was just one legend for everyone to play, and everybody adjusted to him in a couple of days. They also dropped an energy rifle named the Havoc, which was alright, but nothing really special. I mentioned that Fortnite mastered incentive earlier, and that's because Apex Season 1 was the worst battle pass I've ever seen and purchased in a battle royale. It had one legendary skin for the Havoc, which wasn't even really that good, and the rest of the paid skins were ugly and not worth the price of admission. You didn't have fun emotes and dances, instead you had tags that told you your stats. Cool. Also, the grind was unforgiving. At the time, the game didn't have Fortnite's star system, so the only way to get these ugly ass skins was to grind your life away. No one playing the game cared that much about grinding a shit battle pass. The player base was fatigued as it was, so this just felt like a chore. Also, Respawn behind the scenes were starting to affect the game. I said I would mention the mouse later, and that's because Respawn was also working on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order that was scheduled to release in November 2019. So after Apex's launch, most of the dev team split off to focus on Fallen Order since it was heading towards its release, which left Apex in a serious drought of content. The battle pass sucked, the game was repetitive, and while Fortnite was pumping out updates and map changes, Apex stayed the exact same, not innovating or expanding, and it started to show in the game's numbers. Season 2 was also just as disappointing, adding only one new gun and one new legend, with the battle pass being just as awful as Season 1's. Season 3 showed optimism for the game, introducing a new legend Crypto, the new charge rifle weapon, and the brand new map World's Edge. Apex's new map was enjoyed greatly because it was something fresh and new. It gave players something to learn and experience, but it also caused issues. Those who prefer the old map or dislike the new map felt alienated. Apex found a solution for this with map rotations later down the line, but on day of release of World's Edge, some were upset that they couldn't play on King's Canyon. Also, while Season 3 of Apex felt fresh on release, it quickly became boring and repetitive. The season lasted for 4 months, which was a huge fucking drag. And while the battle pass was a huge improvement from past variations, players still felt no incentive to play the game. The game failed to keep its momentum, and with so many games coming out in a couple months, people began to hop off the game. Also, at the time, the game wasn't crossplay. Players had optimism that crossplay was coming soon after Apex's release, but with the game being in its 3rd season still with no crossplay, players started losing hope. Fortnite already had crossplay on all platforms, and with the announcement that Modern Warfare was going to have crossplay at launch, the pressure was heavily put on Respawn, which I 100% agree with. The lack of crossplay was killing the game. I physically couldn't play the game at some points due to friends having PlayStation consoles while I was on PC, so I was forced to play other games, even Battle Royales, because of this. Apex was at its lowest point, and with Jedi Fallen Order out for release, Respawn put all its focus back to revive the game. In Season 4, they introduced map rotations, Evo shields, and a duo mode, adding variety and something new to experience. Also, Respawn took focus to strengthen its community. Overwatch always had a strong fan base due to its marketing and lore around its characters, and Apex finally took advantage of their roster. Apex had great lore due to it being in the Titanfall universe, and the game's reveal trailers were pretty, so Respawn began to take its marketing to another level. For Season 4, they introduced a new legend named Forge, but he ended up being a marketing stunt and was killed in the trailer by the season's real legend, Revenant. Revenant was a tone shift for the audience. He had violent and graphic marketing with a complex backstory, and this sparked so much interest. And while this was the right step in the direction for Apex, not everything was in their control. Warzone, which was COD's second attempt at Battle Royale, released March 10th, 2020, and was new, free to play, and had crossplay, and it completely fucked over Apex. March of 2020 was also when most school and workplaces were shutting down due to COVID, so everyone was just staying home and playing Warzone, me included.
One in motherfucker Northwest too.
Tell me. Okay.
Oh, he's dead. Oh my god, I'm laser.
On the stairs, he's downstairs.
Oh, he's on the stairs.
He's downstairs, he's down.
Dead. Oh, I whacked his ass. I whacked his ass.
There's another guy in the house! Oh my god, there's a whole other squad in the Oh! One's down, one's broke. Oh my fucking god, can we get a break? Can I breathe?
Run! There's another guy!
Jesus Christ! Bro, I can't even wipe my ass with Jesus. Oh my god, man! Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. What's going on?
OG Warzone had the same special charm Apex did at release, and has been some of the most fun I've had in Call of Duty within the last 5 years. It also had a great battle pass, including Ghost, and it was really easy to level up, where Apex was a grind. Apex launched Season 5 on May 20th, 2020, but it was overlooked due to the hype of Warzone. It was a good season going in the right direction, adding Lobo, who was connected to Revenant, alongside new content and mechanics. But like I said earlier, Apex just had to bite the bullet and play for the long game. Season 6 once again added new mechanics, a new weapon, and a new legend, but this was still overshadowed with Warzone remaining on top and dominating. But then Season 7 changed it all. Warzone was still kicking strong, but the players were starting to get burnt out. The map wasn't changing, cheaters were invading, and Cold War was just starting to ruin the game. Also, Cold War just in general was just a huge fucking failure. But Apex made big moves in Season 7, introducing a third map with rotation of all 3 maps in pairs of 2. It also finally introduced crossplay. This made people want to come back and play it again, and it gave the game momentum once again. Season 8 and 9 introduced more lore as well, with Fuse and Valkyrie being attached to the Titanfall universe. The 3 maps were all seeing changes as well, with updates adding a ton of variety while the competitors weren't. And as of now, Season 10 of Apex is at its peak with 100 million players and still growing. All 3 maps are on rotation, and there's a ton of variety and options to play with. And as of recently, it's been getting attention from Twitch once again. A lot of Warzone players such as NICKMERCS, TimTheTatMan, and Courage addressed that they were switching to Apex Legends due to their unhappiness and frustration with Warzone as of lately.
Oh, I got. Oh, I'm dead.
Cheater, midair. Fuck yeah. That was good. We got 5 T-tones. No, get back here.
This game is fucking horrible. Come on, bro. We land first time. And just doof, 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 dead. What are we playing this shit for? Seriously.
He literally got anybody.
No, what are we playing it for? It's not fun. I don't want to play. I'm not having fun. I love you and I want to play with you and I have so much fun playing with you, but I'm not playing this fucking game. I can't do it. Get me off.
What are you gonna go play?
I'm loading up fucking Apex. I'm gonna have fun for an hour.
Warzone is uninspired and has been on the decline in terms of quality. Cold War weapons are breaking the game, the cheating is getting out of control, and it's just not fun anymore, making streamers jump ship and catch a breath of fresh air with Apex Legends. And the numbers are doing well in terms of YouTube and Twitch. I'm happy Apex is thriving. It's deserved. Respawn was slow with updates, and they were unnoticed for a long time, but stuck to their game and didn't quit on it, just like how they did for Titanfall 2. Because Respawn is a team who actually loves their games, and seeing them get a win is fucking awesome. This might be the start of Warzone's comeback, but I doubt that. And I hope Apex continues to be the best battle royale out there. Well, that's it from me. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also share it with anybody who likes Apex Legends. Thank you to the channel members for allowing me to make videos like this. I really appreciate it. Also, thank you for 50,000 subscribers. That is insane. Like, really thank you. It means so much to me. And with that, I'm Dr. Skipper, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
I chain smoke till I choke. Have a good